Wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Well, hello and welcome back. It is the final, it is the ultimate week of 2017. It is the last week in December. And it's a weird week. I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but this is a weird week. First of all, I have to keep saying to myself, it's Tuesday, because it doesn't feel like today's Tuesday. And it probably won't be by the time you watch this, because Christmas being on Monday and having and then a Sunday and a weekend and then Monday being a holiday, and as always, whenever there are marathons on television, it throws my day off because you're not seeing my normal patterns. I don't see the normal shows and blah blah blah. So it's no matter what day I think it is, it's actually Tuesday, and I got a couple of odds and ends to finish up this year before I can start on the next big project, which, if you saw the post I put the day before Christmas, you might know what that is. I got a lovely present in the mail. Santa was good to me. But I wanted to show you first of all, how the Groot finished up, and then maybe we'll get some work on Christopher Johnson this week. I hate to say he was bumped by my new project, but he might be, so pray for him. So let's get to it. And here is the Groot in carbonite. Now the big news is I was able to find smaller brackets or smaller hooks there, clips. This, for example, is the size of the original one that I was using, and these are the new ones, so it's a good ½ inch shorter, which pulls him a good another ½ inch up higher, which gives me the airspace under it that I really wanted. Elliot, you were exactly right about it needing to be shorter. It needed to go up a little bit, and I think that's just that little bit did it. Now I'm thinking all I need to do now is maybe put a little bit of a clear spacer to kind of kick the bottom out a little bit, because of the way it's hanging. It's hanging with, well, you can see it. It's closer at the bottom than it is at the top. So I'm thinking maybe just a little clear spacer to kick the bottom out there to even that up would be nice. And I think just a little bit of clear rod would take care of that. Nothing too obtrusive. And you'll notice the color is a lot more reddish brown for the back stone than what was the last time you saw it. So all in all, I think those two little touches really made all the difference in the world. And now it's time for it to take its permanent place in the collection. Okay, it's welcome back. It's Thursday, and as you can see, still nothing on the work table, and I was feeling a bit of a slack butt because I hadn't picked up a model all week, picked up any glue or any paint or anything like that. Wasn't working on any models, but not that I wasn't working completely. So here's what's occupying my time. Okay, now as you can tell, maybe we're in the theater room, and this is the only space I have in my house that's big enough to work on a project of this size. And basically what I'm doing is I'm making a bookshelf for a pal of mine who has a break in his schedule, and this was a good time of the year to tear his room apart. He has a room much like mine, but I needed to tear it apart to fit this bookcase in. So I've got the shelves going on over there. The sides are right here. We're going to end up painting it Tartus blue when we're done, and that's the main project. And once it's built, it'll be painted, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that before the recording is done for the week. And here's the bookshelf by the end of Thursday night. As you can see, everything is built. None of it's painted yet, but everything is built, and the screws and nails are setting up. Not that the nails have to do much setting, but they're in adhesive, so all I need to do now is put the back on it and trim the back of it tomorrow, and start worried about putting some paint upon it. It's coming along nicely. Well, welcome back. It is Friday afternoon, and this is the current state of bookcase. Bookcase is on its head right now, so I can paint the undersides of these shelves. What will happen is I'll paint the undersides, let these dry, give them another coat, and then flip the thing over and do the tops of the shelves and maybe give them 2 or 3 coats of paint. Plenty of time to dry. And then on the floor back here you see the panels that will make up the back of the bookshelf. Much easier to paint them now than once they're in place. I can paint them now, put them in place, cut them off, and then all I got to do is touch up the paint when I am when everything is built. All I have to do is touch it up, and I don't have to try to reach in with a paintbrush, like reach in here with a roller or anything and paint the back of it and worry about drips and stuff, because hopefully that will all be taken care of by it laying on the ground. And here you go. There's the shelves with the top coat. Stood right up on its feet the way it's supposed to. But I just finished. That's why it looks glossy. It will dry flatter. But bookcase is entirely painted now. A nice TARDIS blue. Actually, it's a little bit lighter. It'll dry dark. Now, because it is the end of the year, I have decided to make up for my lack of doing any modeling this week with a bout of reviving a feature that was popular last year, and that is introducing the class of 2017. These are all the kits that I was able to finish this year, with the exception of the kits that were commissions. The 3 ships I built for Tracy at Federation Models, and the 2 commission builds for the Land of the Giants and the Flying Sub. Those are not here, obviously. They're off enjoying their new homes. I have to tell you, this is the 3rd time I have assembled this group, because just when I think I am done, I remember another ship that I forgot to include, and the best way I have found was to actually go back and look at my old videos to see which videos were done starting in January, and pull them out that way. I had some stuff in here that was actually a last year's model. I was embarrassed to find that out, so I quickly took those out. So this is the 3rd iteration, but this is all of them that I could fit on the table. There's some other things like the TARDIS door and putting up the glass shelves and working on the bridge chairs that were simply just too big to fit in the picture. But this is the manageable group of them. And everything from something simple like this little tie striker that took me all of 5 minutes to the famous Star Destroyer, which actually took me 6 weeks, very close to 6 weeks, and everything in between. I did notice once, all right, take the Hydrotech, the Red Skull flying saucer, so that you can see the controls going on in there. But of course, the thing I noticed was I had done a preponderance of figures this year. I pride myself as being more of a starship kind of guy, but I had more figures to account for. Now, I did shade the area a little bit. This Raptor I actually built a couple years ago, but putting the weapons pods on them was part of this year's work, so I squeaked it in under the wire that way. But this is the more elaborate Raptor that has the photo etch and the lighting in it. And of course, one of the newer ones is the big old Discovery here. The absolute newest one is Groot and Carbonite back here. But and then I think you have to go Groot and a Star Destroyer and the Discovery. I can't figure out the age of all of these. I know that I did Batgirl and the Gundam right leading up to Wonderfest, so that was early spring or late spring, and then this was purchased at Wonderfest, so that was a summer project. Some are projects and some are not. This was obviously done in time for Wonderfest, so that was an earlier year. This was a purchase from Wonderfest, so I'm looking forward to taking that back this year. But when you put it all on the table like this, it kind of makes you wonder how you've been spending your time. But there's the big old elaborate Proteus with lights and people and all that kind of good stuff in the lit map table. The big Iron Giant from Steve Neal, who graciously allowed me to buy a kit off of him. When he makes stuff for him and himself, he is sometimes, understandably so, does not want a bunch of kits going out in the world about it. So I was lucky enough to twist his arm to get him to sell me one of those. And the Hanniboo saucer. I actually got a smaller version of that same saucer for Christmas. One of my modeling buddies, knowing how much I whined about the inaccuracies and the problems of this thing in the videos, sent me the same kit made by another manufacturer that doesn't seemingly have half of the problems that this one does. It has, well, I'll be building that into the next year, so you'll see it then. And this was one of the ones I forgot the last time I was making my list up, this Falcon. But that's the party of five, so to speak. That's all of the class of 2017. So give yourself a hand, and we'll try to do as an eclectic mix and a table full for this year's build. Well, I hope you enjoyed that report, short as it was, on the doings on the last week of 2017 here. Join us again next year, won't you, for even more of the same. So until then, have a happy new year. Hope you enjoyed the holiday season. Hope it gets everything that you wanted. I hope you are very good to each other. Hope you're good. Hope you be good. Hope you're good to each other. And we will see you here next year. I can actually say that now because of when I'm taping. So be good to each other, and we'll see you here next year.